I'm an adventurer myself, at least that's how I would like to view myself in my own mind. How pathetic and hopeless. But when it comes to venturing into dangerous areas, or at least into areas that have been abandoned for years, I'm not so much of an adventurer. Unless I bring someone with me and something to protect myself with, I ain't stepping any closer to these abandoned places. Austin is a solo explorer who also sometimes goes on group explorations, and he is a solid, brave dude. And after flirting with the man, complimenting him, and before you start thinking that I may have other intentions, let's see where he headed that caused him to end up miserably on this list. Because, let's be real, no hiker or camper would be on the scary videos list unless he did something so stupid it turned out scary. He decided to sleep the night in an abandoned mining settlement in southern BC, where he had to climb the rocks in order to reach the intended spot, the house where he would stay. After finally making it all the way there, he takes a look around to show us the place, as if we were so invested in seeing the decoration. And here comes the first activity that should have alerted the man. Well, there were two incidents before the creepy event started occurring. The first one is the rat. There was a rat so big that I thought he was straight up from Ninja Turtles. The second occasion was the door. He almost swore that the door wasn't supposed to be in the position where he found it. He said he heard it slamming. So far, so cute, nothing out of the blue. As he was preparing for sleep, he decided to set up the motion sensor that detects any movements and alerts you if there are any. Here come the sounds. Heavy thuds and footsteps, as if someone were pounding on these floors, and the alert kept going off over and over again. The night turned into a series of terror events.
Crazy. This is where the miners, after their shift, would come and change. It's since been gutted straight down to the studs. This, I believe, was the mess hall. Okay, so this would have been like the front office or the front desk right here. I wonder if this is a new addition or if this was original to the building. Hello? It's probably just the wind, but I swear I heard a door slam just on the other side here. Very eerie. I bought these little motion sensors. So this is just like your standard convenience store motion sensor. I think it said it did infrared as well as motion. I'm not 100% sure. I will be keeping this receiver in my tent here and moving this sensor to outside. And you can see,
hello, welcome.
When it detects motion, it'll give off this that little chime. So if any animal or any person or anything comes in the middle of the night, I will be able to wake up and deal with the situation before they sort of see me. I'm starting to think the motion sensors weren't the greatest idea. It went off once and like creeped me out, and I went to go check on it. Unfortunately, I didn't film, but now it's silent. But like the fact that like it just went off one singular time and then now it's been silent for like 45 minutes is something. It's like skidding down the stairs. I don't know what that was, but we're gonna check it out. Whatever it was, it came from downstairs. It sounded like something dropped and fell down the stairs. Could just be the old building. Was this tube always here? had enough noises. I've had enough spooks, scares.
Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome. Hello, welcome.
Okay.
Hello, welcome.
Okay, that's like the third time the motion sensor outside has gone off. Drone out some of the noise, but it just makes... Okay, that... I think we need to go investigate that because... But it sounded like it was one of these doors. That's so bizarre, they're all closed. Like... This night just keeps getting weirder and weirder.
I could have easily blamed the rat for setting off the sensor, but let's be real, how massive would that rat need to be to make that kind of noise? And it just so happens that it only got creepy right when you went to sleep. Nah, something's off. Either someone's in the house, or it's haunted. I would like to ask a question to you as a viewer. What did you eat yesterday? Because I can smell the stinkiness of your mouth scent. Also, if you just happen to have bought an antique item or have inherited it from your grandparents, and along the way you discovered it was haunted, how well can you handle the situation? If it turns your house into one of those places that you can't step close to if you see footage of its scary ghost events, will you still keep up the promise that you should have made to those who gave you the antique item that you will keep it safe? I bet you not. That's the story of Hevelist, a man from Germany who discovered recently that he messed up big time. And talking about time, he actually did mess up with time in some sort of way. Maybe his story isn't like the one I mentioned at the beginning, but he did have an antique item that he had to burn. After he used the Ouija board, the antique wall clock began to act on behalf of its origins. Since it's vintage, there's a very likely possibility that at one point it might show its true colors and cause paranormal activity all around. But using the Ouija board provoked that side of it, and the door of the clock started moving on its own, so much so that even the pendulum was dislocated from its place somehow. It was a strangely terrifying event to witness.
Leute, ich schwöre euch bei Gott, diese Tür von dieser Uhr, ne? Die ist eben einfach aufgegangen. Ich wollte mich gerade schlafen legen, auf einmal ist die aufgegangen. Die ganzen Tage ist die nicht aufgegangen und jetzt gerade hat die sich einfach geöffnet, Digga. Bro, ich kack mir in die Hose fast. Wenn hier irgendwas in diesem Raum ist, dann macht diese Tür auf. Wenn hier irgendein Geist oder so drin ist und du mich hören kannst, dann mach diese Tür auf. Bro, ich schwöre bei Gott, ich schwöre auf meine Mutter, hier ist keine Schnur oder so. Nicht, dass ihr denkt, ich verarsche euch, Bruder. Guck mal. Guck mal. Hier ist keine Schnur, nix. Ich schwöre auf meine Mutter. Gar nichts. Bro. Ich hab Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut, Bruder. Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper. Gänsehaut. Gänsehaut am ganzen Körper. Ich schwöre, meine Mutter, guck. Guck. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Oh mein Gott. Ouija-Boards genau hier. Diese Ouija-Boards genau hier dran. Mein Herz ist am Rasen, Bruder. Mein Herz ist am Rasen. Mein Herz ist am Rasen.
The man went straight up with the perfect solution, at least the closest to perfection, because there has never been a perfect solution for those who used the Ouija board and got affected by its sinister evil circumstances. You never conduct a session with that thing and expect to slip out of it so swiftly like butter, unless you have done it wrong. But is there even really a wrong way to use that thing? The next video is one of the OG ones, where we have two young men starting up the video with a stare of confidence that they are about to capture some of the most legit paranormal scenes that will be returned to after the video rots in time. The next video is almost 14 years old. Two fellas staying awake past midnight to make a video for YouTube. One of them says that they have been experiencing some strange and creepy activity as of late, where they hear some unexplained noises during this time of the day. Not the time of which I'm speaking or the time you're watching, it's based on their time zone. Anyways, I don't know why I had to explain that, but let's proceed. So both of them stood up, began a walkthrough around the house, and nothing strange happened. But before the camera guy could stop the recording, a stack of whatever those things were on the table slid off and fell in a terrifying manner, because there was no way it could have been shaken the way it did if no real strong force had pushed it.
Alright guys, it's about 1 o'clock. This has been happening every night. About this time we hear a noise. Not really sure what it is, but it's starting to freak us out. See if we can maybe get it on film. You hear that?
What is that?
Oh, that was a noise.
I'll look over here. I don't hear it anymore. James closet. I think it stopped. Oh my God!
Since they were young at the time, and I believe at the time on the internet, creating such videos was the hot thing. It might have been staged, but it also looks pretty convincing. Do you really want to know what's under the blanket? It's the scariest thing you can ever imagine. And that's what Bob had to say when asked, "How do you feel about your job?" Let me explain the video, not why Bob said what he said. So let's talk about the first clip, then we move on to the second one. While Jack was on his couch at night, chilling with his wife, she was crying with desperation. Jack was not paying attention to her. He only cared about what was in the kitchen. How disrespectful. In these hard times, he should be more caring. But wait there just for a second before you start saying she deserves a better man like you, because you're no better. Plus, don't you want to know why she was crying? Well, since the house is haunted, very haunted in fact, she must be crying due to the scary activities she has to deal with. And that's what the media wants you to believe, because once Jack turned his camera a little to the left, it turned out the one who was crying was a lady from a movie he was watching. How virgin. Then he is completely alone in the darkness of his house, surrounded by the jinn. Don't overreact, but yes, he is. In the kitchen, the cabinets were opening and closing on their own. Now let's find out what could be happening under Jack's blanket. Oh boy, as he was telling us a story before bed, the ghost took the blanket off of him to reveal the dark, disgusting truth. What was it? Hairy legs, that was it. But in the last clip, well, the chair was just shoved from its place with full terror, just for the hype.
Volví a mi casa y esto fue lo que pasó. Actividad paranormal en mi casa.
Me acuerdo de cada expresión en su cara.
Bueno, me encuentro viendo una película, ya casi van a ser las 10 de la noche.
Todo lo que pasó cuando estaba con él, si de verdad fue real. Yo los vi.
Escuché cosas allá en la cocina y mire, están todos esos cajones de arriba
Algo revuelta.
abiertos y pues
Cuando 2 toneladas de metal se impactan contra Dios.
pensé que no iba a suceder nada hoy, pero
No importa, es la verdad. Peleamos esa semana, ¿lo olvidaste? Ustedes tuvieron un épico verano. Y eso jamás lo olvidarás.
vieja de huella en la cocina.
Sí. Bueno, yo no lo olvidaré y solo era un espectador celosa. No puede ser.
Algo en
Es
la
mi
cocina.
primer día de vuelta y ya estoy hecha un bodrio. Es cierto. Es la verdad.
Esos cajones se están moviendo solos.
Escuché lo que pasó, Tessa. Lo lamento mucho. Si fueras mi hija, te diría que lo usaras.
I don't want anyone to act smart here, okay? I know how some of you act sometimes. Oh, he must have a hole in the wall so he can pull these cabinets from inside. How stupid. He will perforate his wall just for a stupid trick. I'm not a big fan of mirrors because not only do they expose how you really look and show every little wrinkle on your forehead, but they also act as a factor of fear. And when I say fear, I'm not talking about the sort of fear of staring at your own flaws, but rather the world of jinn. Yes, folks, mirrors can literally act as a way of interacting with demonic entities. The problem is that mirrors exist everywhere, which takes me to our next guy who said that he has been feeling watched and he didn't want to come out as an idiot in front of his girlfriend, so instead, he came out as a scaredy cat. All jokes aside, he has every right to actually be scared to the ultimate extent. The night he had to experience is nothing like a normal cozy night. While he was trying to sleep, he noticed something strange in the mirror right in front of him, which was facing his bed. At first, you might not be able to tell why the man is scared, but a closer look will expose what looks like a figure right beside the man staring him down. When he pans the camera around, he doesn't find anything. Then what about him? The camera didn't capture the figure when it was pinned around. But did he do it with his own eyes? Nope. And to make matters worse, that figure kept getting closer each time it appeared in the mirror, until we got a very good look at how she is shaped. You heard that right, the figure was also an old female granny.
No. No é possível!
He wanted to prove to his girlfriend that he isn't crazy by capturing a terrifying figure apparition in the mirror, but I would imagine her reaction will be more like, "Who is that girl in your room?" Alex is a very chill type of dude. He is a man who could be the quiet kid in the classroom who has so much energy running through him, but he just won't use it. He is the leader in the army who would never scream at his soldiers, but always comes with the best strategies calmly and ends up winning the war with style. Are you going to start talking about why he is here or just compliment his attitude? Well, I did the first one, so let's get to the second one. Alex is a man who has been suffering with his girlfriend. No, wait, that's the wrong Alex. I just exposed one of my friends. Alex is someone who is dealing with paranormal activities in his house, as he makes documented videos where he talks about his day-to-day life dealing with the ghost haunting his property. Does he actually? Honestly, I'm not so sure about that. He doesn't speak English, and he talks too much during these videos, but as he talks, something unnatural always seems to happen in the background. Like what? Like his neighbors making out so aggressively that they end up breaking into his house through the wall. Just imagine. But in all seriousness, something like the microwave turning on all of a sudden or like noises in the background, which when investigated, he found that the shampoo bottles were all on the bathtub. How clearly spooky. Or sometimes, as he would be speaking in depressed mode, the door behind him would open by itself. Maybe the ghost wants to calm him down. When he sleeps, it breaks loose. How so? Well, his furniture floats and walks out of the room, or some shadow figure walks inside the room. One day, he was chilling on his bed, but noises were all around him. The light started flickering, and the other day, he came back home only to find it a mess. So scary.
Началось. Снова. Твою мать. Все бесполезно. Она уже не нужна. Она уже не нужна. Вот, и это... Воочию, это стрёмно. Мне кажется, их много.
I have never seen a chair activity like this one before. Why? What was so strange about it? The way the chair moved, it was like it was trying to get up, or as if someone under the table used his magical hands to flip it from down below. If you have been around the internet for the past couple of years, which is obviously a must, because, let's face it, you won't be watching this video if you only gained access to the internet about a year or two ago, just now, getting to surface the internet, and you choose to watch some scary ghost videos. How pathetic. However, if you've been keeping up with the latest online trends, you're likely familiar with the concept of rockrolling. You know, when someone tries to make fun of the other by tricking him into watching that Never Gonna Give You Up song. With that out of the way, what does it have to do with the next video? I will give you an interpretation that will fill your mouth with information. The next video takes place in Walton Hall in Liverpool, which was built back in the 1700s. It was designed in a neoclassical style, reflecting the architectural trends of the time. Walton Hall was acquired by the Freemasons, a fraternal organization with roots tracing back to the late medieval period. The Freemasons used the hall as a meeting place. After long years of its abandonment, many reports have been claiming paranormal activities to have taken place inside the mansion, reported by visitors and later by the one and only nosy group of people, the ghost haunters. So here we have the team of Moxley and John, his friend, whom I have given a fake name to. They went inside and showed us around the place, showing us how ancient it is, with vintage items such as a telephone booth, which I have no idea what it's doing in there, but I guess back in the 18th century they didn't have cell phones. How unadvanced. But as they began investigating, they heard some noise. It sounded like someone slamming some doors upstairs. So they went up there to see and found a shadow of someone walking from behind the window. They couldn't capture him, and the noises continued as more sounds of door slamming were heard, with some bangs on the side. Not to forget the voices, especially that last one, which Moxley claimed to be a woman's voice. But back to my first point to conclude this video, the rockrolling. Where does it take place? As they used one of their devices to detect if there were any figures around. One figure showed up on the screen, and it was dancing.
That's where they kept all the good wine.
Yeah.
The old phone box. Look how far up it... Oh. How's that? How's that? That's a door. It is a door. Hello?
Hello?
No way. Where is it? Who's walked in?
How's the door open and shutting?
It's not wind.
No.
There's people moving about. Okay, we are talking. Sound like they're talking to each other. That sounded like that door downstairs, didn't it?
Mate, that was another door.
I don't know what it is. It's loud. We're not alone.
Something just moved up. Something's moving up there.
Shh. Luke,
Mate,
something on the roof.
is there someone there?
You can see them.
Can see you up there. Yo, they've just blacked it out.
What's going on? That's somebody moving.
We just got movement out here. Can you tell us who you are? My heart just stopped. Jay, you just made my heart stop then. Yo, there's somebody in this room, mate. What the? Yeah. There's somebody here. There has to be. They couldn't have moved that fast. Oh, get something right here at the door. That is big. Yeah. You tell me who you are? No, it's not the curtain, there's nothing there. In this hallway? Mate, there's something stood right in front of me. Mate, it just stood right in front of me then. Right, did you just bang a door then?
No.
Did you hear that other doosh?
Yeah.
There's doors closing around here, mate. Opening and shutting. Can you tell us who the woman was? Who's that making all the noises? That was knocking.
That was a sign then.
That was
It was like it was on the bar. Thanks for that. You do it
Yeah.
again. Where'd you knock then?
Jay, did you make a noise then?
No.
You not hear that?
No. I just didn't hear that. Didn't hear anything. That's right, isn't it?
What was that?
I just turned off and heard a woman scream.
I heard the woman scream. This fella should just record everything. Just switch the card off and heard a woman going, ah!
I just heard a woman scream.
The problem that they can't tell whether that thing was indeed a shadow figure or maybe just some creep lingering around the place. Either way, it's terrifying. If it were a human, who knows what he is up to? And if it was a ghost figure, he could also be up to something malicious. When you want to make your presence known to others, you will always try to leave a mark so they won't forget that you have once existed in their lives. That's what the old man once told me, but ever since he passed away, I never thought that he might somehow return, even for a glimpse of a moment. It's a bit confusing, but I will explain. In the next video, we have Alonso, an investigator who is known for his high credibility. He was once inside what looks like a mausoleum. Since he is investigating a cemetery, it must have been a mausoleum. So, as he was standing right in front of its door, something caught his attention but didn't catch mine. I don't exactly know why he was screaming, but I think after rewatching the video, I just figured it out. A metal rod began shaking on its own right in front of him. The problem was that it's so close to him you can tell nothing and no one is touching it. It was totally done by a ghost. And to prove my point, the ghost detector app began beeping, signaling a strong negative energy in the scene, and since Alonso's wife wasn't with him, it should have been a ghost. Later, the door shut by itself. The scary scene had a very bone-chilling conclusion, which takes me back to my first point when I mentioned the old man who advised me when I said I thought he was never going to return after he passed away. He just showed up in the video, but as a ghostly spirit, where a hand touched the glass of the door and Alonso was left speechless as he couldn't find a trace of anyone.
Uy, 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 ve la puerta, ve la puerta, ve la puerta. ¿Estás aquí? Uy, uy, no, 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 no. ¿Qué es lo que ocupas? ¿Qué es lo que necesitas? Puedo agarrar el teléfono y la lámpara, amigos. ¿Qué es lo que necesitas? No, esta no es, amigos. Esta no es. No puedo agarrar el teléfono y la lámpara. Uy. ¿Dónde estás? La puerta, aquí la puerta. Uy, 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 la ventana, la ventana. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Uy, la puerta, amigos, la puerta. ¿Estás aquí? ¡Uy, uy, ahí está! ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Amigos, alguien se asomó, amigos. Uy. Alguien se asomó. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Uy, uy. ¿Qué pasó aquí? ¿Qué pasó aquí? ¿Qué pasó aquí? ¿Qué pasó aquí? Ahí está. ¿Qué fue eso?
You're sitting right in the middle of a cemetery and possibly inside one of the mausoleums, and you're asking for paranormal activity. The least these spirits could have done was give you a hand sign with that apparition. I don't know if this is a common situation, but when you order food late at night, like really, really late, expect your door to be knocked on at any minute because these restaurants would be closing at the time you order, so demanding that they deliver food at this time would be a mistake. It could end up being cold, dry, or even terribly cooked. Do you really want your food in that state? And I will get to the point because Jordy was set to investigate this haunted cabin, which is shrouded in mystery and whisper rumors among the townspeople. It is believed to be haunted by a malevolent spirit that refuses to find peace, even after the passing of the original occupants, the Andersons, who fell into a strong illness. The Andersons, once a prosperous family, lived happily in the cabin, hosting gatherings and celebrations. However, tragedy struck when that illness we just talked about, in case you already forgot, swept through the town, claiming the lives of Mr. and Mrs. Anderson. Okay, so what happened to Jordy? Who is Jordy? Oh, you mean the investigator? Yeah, he was fine. He did the investigation and came out of it alive, unlike Anderson's, who not only investigated the place but actually owned it. But what about the delivery guy's story in ordering food late at night? Where does that take part in the video? Well, as Jordan began his mission to seek the ghost, he kept hearing footsteps and the presence of someone around him when he was totally alone. During the sensory deprivation session, the chandelier started swinging while the lights went on goofing. They even opened the door on him at some point. Books were falling off the shelf, and we also got to discover a relationship between Mr. Anderson, Paul, and his friend Daniel. Yeah, it's called Friendship Buddy. That's what we thought at first, but it turned out it was deeper. But regarding the late delivery I just talked about, throughout the investigation, the front door kept being knocked on, but no one was there. What if they had ordered something earlier and forgot about it?
I heard something.
What was that?
What was that?
Yeah, you heard that.
Did you hear that last night in here?
That's not what I heard. Picked?
That was weird.
Want to bring it up to the attic?
No, I just held it up to the attic door.
Oh, okay.
Whoa!
Whoa! Here we are.
Okay.
Test.
Test? We're running a
This is
test?
Yes. This is a test to see if you're here.
Nothing now.
Last name we got was Daniel.
What? That scared me. What? No, nothing. Test? What the hell? It's almost like something got up and left.
It just bolted.
Yeah. It went off again. Those definite footsteps.
You seem to get excited when I mentioned Paul's name. You lit up the REM pod or the Quake pod a few times. Is he a good friend? Was Paul more than a friend? Whoa. Hello? Who is it? Who is it? No answer. I don't know. I'm curious, but I don't know what I'm letting in if I open that. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I'm just gonna walk away. We'll talk tomorrow. Holy. Hello? We might be able to see from here. View of the front door where the knocking's coming from. That's a motion light that just turned on. The motion light just turned on. Hello? Who's there? Hello? What was that? Sounded like a screech or something. Who is it? Why won't you just let me sleep? I'm here, I'm just a friend, and I just want to talk to you. Who is it knocking at the door? Okay. Are you over here? How did you get in? Is that you knocking? Or is somebody already in here? I swear it said love again. Alone? Lonely? Yes. That was me. I feel like somebody's standing right beside me. Oh. I can't even concentrate on the words right now because I feel like somebody is standing right next to me. Yes, it was. It said still here earlier, but it's been quiet since. And I don't feel like somebody's standing next to me anymore. Shelf. Johnny said, it was just texting, said something was knocking at the front door again while I was in my sensory. Is that you, Daniel? That was crazy. Second night in a row. Something's knocking at the door. Hello? Who is it? I asked you if I could please have a peaceful night's sleep tonight. Why can't you just let me sleep? I can't. How do I know about that? Go away, please. Holy! No way.
I'm having a guess that since Johnny, his companion, was at home looking for Jordan, he could have, by accident, told the restaurant to deliver to this address. What if the malevolent spirit didn't find peace because his delivery never arrived? So now he is knocking at his door as a revenge.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
Once again, the man himself returns to the big screen. I feel so bad for saying that, because none of you are familiar with whom I'm referring to, and even when I do, most won't recognize him, and I'm in no way the big screen. So, Ahmad, the man who usually brings a sheikh with him into the investigations, is here. This time though, he is all by himself. He decided to investigate an old abandoned house in the middle of the night. First, he heads up and begins looking around, searching the place to make sure that no one is hiding who might later jump him. I mean, listen, what is creepier than investigating an abandoned place alone knowing that any paranormal phenomenon might occur at any moment, not being sure if there is another human being in the same building with you? So after a deep dive, he found no one else with him. Good news so far, but it didn't last long, just like the stock market in the past 3 months. As the real investigation began taking its full shape, so did the creepy activities. Ahmed was looking around seeking something paranormal, and he got what he wished for, though it might not have been clear for us because he was the only one who caught it. You could feel the tension and the fear he felt. He claimed that he saw some figure watching over him from the stairs, but no one cares about just claims without clear evidence. That's why when he followed the figure upstairs, the figure made sure to make a clear apparition on camera. From the way back of the hallway, a black figure was peeking from inside one of the rooms. That apparition happened twice from the very same place, yet Ahmed couldn't use his legs to charge at it. Throughout the video, there were multiple times when our guy jumped out of fear due to some unexplained object movements that can't be described.
الباب الرئيسي مسكر بجنزير، فأنا دخلت من مدخل ثاني. بسم الله بدينا يا إخوان، يلا الكل صلينا على الحبيب المصطفى، اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. في حدا؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. في حدا هون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. لا أنا مو أحول، وحياة ربي لكم في حدا أسود كان واقف هنا. يما والله كان في حدا واقف. في حدا هون؟ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. في حدا حكى لا؟ أنا سمعت التسجيل كم مرة الصوت. والله وحياة ربي الكون في حدا يا عالم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يما مش في حدا طلع هون ولا أنا بنجنب قاعد؟ لا أنا بمزحش، بحكي جد والله. مش في حدا طلع هون؟ يما في حدا. في حدا والله يا إخوان. سمعت بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أوه يما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شو هاد بوقع من السما هو ولا ايش بصير قاعد معي؟ في حدا وقف ولا لا؟ أنا مش فاهم. في حدا وقف هون. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يما يما يما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. شفتوا بعينكم؟ حصنت نفسي بلا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اقرأوا. خذوا سكرين بسرعة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. 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 أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. إيش في كل الدار بوابيج؟ الجن بيلعب معي قاعد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إيدي مش قادر وحياة الله يا جماعة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. لا 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 لا، ترى الإشي بصير قاعد عاطل. والله الإشي اللي بصير كثير عاطل.
This is not the first time I've dealt with an Arabian investigator who felt pain in their hand after an intense paranormal experience. Yes, fellas, almost 5 years ago, there was a guy whom I featured who shared the same pain. Do you know what the scariest thing about this particular video is? If you know, then how did you find out? I thought it was a secret, so the scariest thing isn't the events or the title they had on it, which they called the scariest video we have ever captured. The one thing that truly terrified me the most was the fact that the video got deleted hours after they uploaded it to YouTube. I was like, I know it was freaky and all, but was that really on that level? To the point where YouTube literally took it down. Did the algorithm really get scared? It turned out the crew took it down after YouTube demonetized the video. It will be up on their channel again soon, according to their latest statement. Anyway, the story goes all the way back to when massive meteors rocked Earth and led to the extinction of the dinosaurs. Did we really go that far in the past? Yes, because ever since then, an amulet filled with red juice has been transferred from one place to another, held by different people, until the day when it was time to deliver it to whoever was supposed to be worth holding it. So some crawls took that piece and dropped it on the head of Cody's grandma. She thought it was raining, so she called her grandson, telling him about the incident. He was live streaming, so he replied to her with anger, "How dare you old lady bother my stream like that? Haven't they told you that your time is up and my time is now?" It seems like Cody watches a lot of John Cena clips. Regardless, he and Corey decided that they would keep the amulet and take it with them to their next investigation, in which they went searching for the ghost town. On their way, they found a lunatic who kept following them till the very end. How lovely. The amulet seemed to be cursed by the way.
Last time I went with Tanner, I was up to my waist in murky water just to get through the woods and enter the ghost town. This time, we didn't have to do all that.
I was expecting to go out there and be walking through miles of chest-deep swamp water, so I came prepared. We had the coordinates on our phone, but anyone that's ever been to the woods like this knows that there is no such thing as a straight shot.
Honestly, it didn't feel like we were walking for that long, but time was passing way quicker than we realized, and the daylight was fading fast. One of our biggest concerns was maybe we wouldn't be able to find the ghost town if it got too dark, because it's not a huge place. It's just a couple of old, abandoned, broken down churches in the back of these mountains and woods.
Hey, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. Shh, there's a fire up there. There's somebody up there, bro. Hold on. Here, hold this for a second. Wait, bro, hold this for a second. I'm gonna turn on the night vision. Wait. I'm gonna be out here right now. I know. There's somebody there. Why are we going towards it? Bro. Oh, he turned the fire off. Oh my God. No. No, cut the camera. Let's go. I did not sign up for this at all.
And I think that they're following us. Every time we go about 100 yards, we hear branches and behind us.
Yeah, I'm not trying to get cut up by some backwoods hip hillbilly dude.
I think we might be coming up on the town now, but there's definitely someone out here following us, so we need to move quick.
As I was looking through the night vision binoculars, it's really bright in your eyes, and it kind of made me blind to everything else around me. And as I was trying to get a clear view of what was up ahead, I must have leaned on a small branch or twig because it snapped, and instantly I froze in fear. I think what scared me the most was the fact it seemed like he could see us perfectly in pitch black darkness.
Wait. Get down. There's someone else up there. Someone just ran across this street.
Where are we supposed to go then?
I hear something. Wait. We need to move.
Dude.
Let's go left. Let's go right. Let's go this way.
Bro, is that the staircase?
Yeah. That's where the thing came down the stairs at us.
Oh, what the f***? Oh my God.
Right there.
Is it even safe to be in here?
I don't know. Probably not.
Oh yeah, no. This is bad news. Dude, I cannot believe that.
This is our first time opening this package. But I have a feeling there's something really bad attached to it, and that's why we have it
wrapped
here.
it in prayers.
Oh, wow.
The Lord is on my side. I will not fear. I have no idea what to expect on this right now, bro. I really don't
I just heard footsteps, bro.
No, you didn't.
Downstairs, yeah. Oh. Let me look at that thing. No way, dude. Alright, we gotta run some tests, bro. Try to see if there's something attached to this thing.
But then the unexpected happened.
That's it? Can you please give us a message through one of these devices? You can say something through this. You can say something through this. Give us a message.
Oh! Man, hold on.
The entire building began to shake as we were trying to make communication with what we thought was a cursed blood-filled amulet. What are the chances that an earthquake or a tremor would happen in this exact moment? Or maybe, just maybe,
we released something that we shouldn't have. What the f was that? I've never heard anything like that in my life.
Dude, that was way more than
We need to find our way back to the car, like now.
Yeah.
No. Hey, what the f? Hey, hold on. This is definitely the way we came, right?
100%.
This is the only way?
This is the only way, yeah.
Pull up a little bit, get closer, so I can see what's going on.
Let's get our tires out, dude.
Yeah, alright, I'll move them.
Get back in.
Bro, I think there's someone back there.
No, don't say that.
Lock the door, lock the door.
What do you see?
Oh, I'm trying to see. Hard to see.
Like how
Yeah,
far
there's
away?
someone back there.
How far away?
Oh, he's running, bro.
Drive.
Hold.
Look, if this man appeared once, then he is either a serial killer, and I don't want to say the word for the sake of avoiding any issues with the YouTube team. So he is either a serial killer or a jinn. If he followed you twice, then he is a maniac. If he followed you 3 times, then he is a man who got lost on his way back home and needs a ride. Help him. Believe me, I speak from experience. I know that you're not so obsessed with sad, tragic stories, but the next video has one for the ages. The location our friend in the subsequent video is venturing to is very well known in Mexico, but for all the wrong reasons. It's Mexico's most infamous haunted house, the Claudia Mijango's residence, the site of a horrifying triple homicide in 1989. Claudia, a mentally unstable mother, takes her 3 children's lives with kitchen knives, an act that left the nation shook and has since left the property steeped in legend and fear. The place later became infamous for its allegedly paranormal hauntings. As many people have claimed, this house is never a safe zone since ghosts linger inside. So even if this house was not haunted, or if it was reinvented, I would never take a step inside of it. Just knowing that such a scene took place in there will give me a hard time staying in it. And this is exactly what our guy in the next video felt. He just walked inside the property and immediately felt a heavy pressure. He described it as if there was lots of negative energy filling the place. I mean, that's the least this place could have offered. But it didn't take long before more creepy stuff kicked in. He focused on one of the cabinets, claiming that he might have seen it moving or something along those lines, because he also heard sounds of creaking doors. Most of these sounds were coming from the upper floor. There were some faint sounds of footsteps, but the most intriguing activity, perhaps, was the voices. Throughout the video, he heard faint voices of children echoing in the place. A chain was even swinging on its own at some point. But there is one more encounter that left him speechless. When he came back down from the upper floor, he found some kids' toys on the ground where he had already been. The problem is that it was never there when he arrived in the place.
¿Qué fue eso? ¿Qué pedo? ¿Soy yo o esa cosa se movió? ¿Qué pedo con eso? Díganme que alcanzaron a ver que esta puerta se movió. Seas mamón. No puedo creer lo que eso se haya movido, ya que es imposible. Vamos a ver qué más tiene esta casa para investigar. Vamos a ver qué sigue en esta casa. pedo con eso? No mames. Verga. Se escuchan muchas cosas en ese lugar. Porque las vibras que aquí se cargan son muy fuertes, pero demasiado. Como pueden observar en este lugar, hay gráficos. ¿Qué pedo? No seas mamón. Nada de eso. En este lugar se están empezando a escuchar muchísimas cosas, además de que se ven sombras, se escuchan voces, se están viendo bastantes cosas que no sé cómo explicarlas. Simplemente... ¿Qué pedo con estos juguetes? Estos juguetes no estaban aquí. Estos juguetes no estaban aquí cuando entré.
I have no idea where the toy came from. It must have been inside the building prior to that moment. But the fact that it moved from its place just signals an evacuation. I don't remember the last time I featured Kent in the Lamb House. In fact, I don't even remember the last time I remembered anything important in my life. Kent is finally back with a new documentary about his Lamb House. And this time it's called When Your Mom Bags Your Best Friend. Sorry, I was just reading the title of the video my friend sent me. But wait, I don't even text anyone in the first place. Then who is sending me messages? Anyways, the actual video title is Portals in the House of Hell. Because according to legend, the Lamb House has actually come out of hell. These legends who said this must be sued. I can't understand how they can say such things. So, this document is actually darker than any of the others that I have seen from him, in my opinion. Before we get to the dark part, let's first talk about the bright one. Since I'm not like Hollywood, dark things won't be eliminated first. Kent was going up the stairs, trying to act normally as if this house wasn't haunted, only to be startled by a dark figure shutting the door on his face. Kent felt emotionally hurt. He felt a bit of sadness. How can one of his family members be this rude? So he asked them, why? Why did this happen to me? But they all confirmed to him that no member of the family was up there. In another video, we can see that same dark figure passing by very fast. Now into the dark section. Everyone who even thinks about this house will get hurt. Even I. I was just thinking about visiting it one day, and all of a sudden I got diarrhea. And I assure you that cheap street food has nothing to do with it. While Kent's son crashed the car twice and his granddaughter's hand turned into a pizza, Kent's brother had a normal case of skin cancer, which developed to an extreme level. One of their family friends was just waiting for a ride at the Lamb House, but all of a sudden she switched from Team Hard Work Eddie Murphy to Team All-Time Classic White Uncle Tommy. Basically, she got so scared that her face lost color. But unexpectedly, she later passed away.
I still see things that's pretty mind-boggling. I still feel things that's still feels dark. And the hell was that? my God! Oh my God! So I go back downstairs and I said to Jude, I said, Jude, that's Nanu up in the bedroom. And Jude says, no, Nanu's up in Mommy's room, which is the witch's window room. And I'm like, okay, well, who's in the bedroom that slammed the door on me? Holler up the steps of the witch's window room, and sure enough, my wife's up there with our daughter. No, I thought that was you up in the bedroom, sorry. So I go back up to the bedroom, and there's nobody up there, but there's something strange that was captured that I didn't see in real time.
Abby? Edmund? Hello?
Well, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't talked about, things that's gone on with this paranormal activity. Mainly because, for privacy matters, there's a lot of stuff I haven't mentioned from these investigations. In order to understand what's been going on in the Lamb House and with these encounters, it's kind of reached a point for people to understand the situation. I need to start talking about certain things that I've left out of the videos. Over the past 2 years after these encounters turn extremely dark, entities wanting blood, spirits bring up Blood Witch, and my mother reveals family secrets, strange events started taking place with every family member, even with family members who've never stepped into the Lamb House. Every time I conduct an investigation in the Lamb House, attempting to get down to the bottom of this so-called family curse spirit attachment, like clockwork, someone would get seriously hurt. Unexplained illnesses or even death would occur. I also noticed strange things taking place with people attempting to come to the Lamb House or have been in the Lamb House. The first really strange event that took place was when my brother Mike got skin cancer. Squamous cell skin cancer spreads slowly and is usually not fatal.
A demon?
Every time I encountered this activity during an investigation, something traumatic would happen to a family member during the investigation or immediately after. During the filming of Demons in the Dark Provoke, I received a message from a family member. My brother's cancer has spread to his brain. He'll be going into hospice. The next day I receive a phone call from my daughter. My granddaughter was viciously attacked by the family cat. The cat has never attacked anyone before. It was a calm but very loving cat. I get a call from my son Nathan. He was driving down the road with his girlfriend in the car. Out of nowhere, the car explodes and is completely engulfed in flames. They received some burns, but barely made it out of the car alive.
Me and Justine were in the car. I just got done mentioning someone being the Antichrist. And not even 5 minutes later, the car blew up and the dash went in our face. And then we jumped out and took off running. The car blew up again.
What caused it to blow up?
We don't know. The fire department couldn't even find out.
My daughter has 3 daughters. It didn't make sense to me. Why would this cat specifically single out this particular child? Then my daughter tells me my granddaughter, who was attacked by the cat, has been seeing a shadow apparition in her room at night. And lately there's been a lot of strange things going on in the house related to paranormal encounters. I started talking to family members. Everyone has been seeing shadow apparitions and experiencing strange encounters. One of my grandkids drew a picture. She said a strange face showed up in the picture and this scared her. Another one of my grandkids drew a shadow apparition to show me what the apparitions looked like. Out of nowhere, multiple family members started suffering from major panic attacks, non-stop anxiety, major depression, and dark forms of oppression. My son Nathan has another incident. This time he knew something supernatural attempted to kill him.
I was in the Jaguar going down San Felipe, and all of a sudden the Jaguar just turned on its own by itself. I was grabbing it, trying to get control of it, and it ran into a tree. Got broken nose from it, broken leg from it, my ankle's still messed up from it. Got a big hole in the side of my knee, but that's just now healing up, and it's been, 3 months? I was taking pictures, and then I felt like a ghostly-like figure, a demon or something with the red eyes. Like, I don't know how the picture even got there, because I wasn't facing anything else or anywhere else, so it's weird how I even captured the picture and just showed up on my phone. And then it happened again whenever I was at Tiffany's over in Melbourne.
Do you feel like there's a family curse?
I honestly do, Dad. Yeah, I feel like there's a family curse. There's something over our whole family. Something's going on for sure, I feel like.
A family friend stops by the Lamb House and needed a ride home. While sitting in the Lamb House, her face turned pure white. She began to panic and ran out of the house. I found her sitting in my car. She begged me to quickly drive her to her house. I got her to her house just down the road. 2 days later, the day I released Nightmares in the Lamb House, she suddenly and unexpectedly passed away. When B passed away the day I released Nightmares in the Lamb House on October 1st, 2022, I thought this was just a coincidence. But what I thought was really strange, the day B came to the house, I just got done doing a sit-down talk with my son Michael about strange events taking place with people who came to the Lamb House, or were attempting to come to the house. I released this portion of the filming on October 6th in the video House of Evil Behind the Encounters. What's happened with people who's either come to visit this house or they were on their way to come and visit this house. There's been multiple incidents, just one after another, over the last year. Another gentleman who was a paranormal investigator, he scheduled to come to the Lamb House, and he's been here before. He was going to come within the week, and his daughter contacted me and said that her dad had a heart attack, and they had to revive him multiple times. He had no doubt that something evil was involved. Hello?
Hey, Kent.
Yeah.
Miranda got a hand in that spinner.
What's that?
Miranda got her hand into that pizza spinner. Come.
Okay, I'm coming. Hi.
What?
Brenda's hurt.
What happened?
Her hand went into the pizza spinner.
No! No, no, no!
Miranda was cleaning the pizza roller at the mini-mart. She said it felt like something grabbed her hand and forced it into the roller wheels. Large amounts of blood was all over the roller, and droplets covered the floor. 3 of her fingers were crushed.
I just want to talk about Nathan's car incident. It's one of three. He is either a bad driver, or he is under some alcohol or drugs while driving, or he is actually affected by this demonic house. If you ever investigate an abandoned place and you encounter some witchcraft or someone in the middle of a demonic ritual, you would never think of returning to that place ever again, unless you want to put yourself in a risky spot. So, that's why our guys in the next video never returned to that place where they once encountered such a ritual. Obviously, that's the kind of action a mom would like to hear her children have taken. But here, we are not going to feature the good boys. We are only looking for the bad ones. So yeah, Alexis and Kevin didn't actually back down. They stepped up their game and returned to this one place, a secluded mountaintop house in Jalisco, Mexico, considered one of the most dangerous and cursed locations they've ever explored. Years prior, the team encountered terrifying signs of witchcraft and unexplained activity there, including red stains, eerie monkey dolls, and a man performing unsettling rituals. Today is no different, at least on the side of the location itself. The location is still the same when it comes to the vibes, but they didn't find anyone performing any sort of ritual. They split up inside the building, and each one of them has a slightly different experience, though both were creepy. One was dealing with heavy bangs on the walls, while the other was hearing inexplicable footsteps echoing through the place. Later on, they heard the sound of breaking glass, which identified itself more clearly as the investigation progressed, where a bottle somehow fell down and rolled over, creating a scary, questionable activity. At some point, one of them felt as if he was being watched or something, and the camera began glitching out of the blue until it shut down somehow. They reviewed the footage afterwards, but the camera couldn't capture anything that could have caused such a phenomenon.
Let's see how well she knows me. What was that?
So we come from the coast.
What the heck?
Hey!
Is there someone there?
Is what I'm hearing you? Hey, ladies!
What the heck? No way.
I'm out!
You can hear a slight movement. No way!
No way. way.
I think we've gotten enough from this place, family. Family. Before going down, we decided to come back to put away everything that might fall, and just when we were here, I asked Alexis if my camera was still recording, and he told me that no, I didn't know when it stopped recording. I'm checking when it stopped recording, and we're just realizing that there's a part at the end of the clip right before I come down from up there, and the camera, curiously, it looks very strange. Please, I want you to record it. And yes, the night vision is already drained. I'm going to show you from here. Look closely. Can you see it? Yes. Look after that. Look. Look how it looks. What? Look. What with that? And there it just freezes the image. And I don't know anymore. And right.
In the end, when they left the building, they had to confront the police as to why they were here in the first place. Either the police were called by someone who was lingering inside and didn't want their presence, or the police just happened to be passing by and felt something was off. A hotel that was built in 1916 by 3 different women. Seriously, dude, no way. I thought these 3 ladies were just one person who could split into 3 different people. Are you mocking me? Anyways, what's with this feminist-built hotel? Just because it was built by women doesn't mean it's part of that community. This hotel had some creepy events after these ladies passed away. But how did that happen? Yeah, let me just go back in time right to that point and find out how it took place back then. I don't know, maybe it was just due to some natural causes. But after they were out of order, guests of the hotel claimed to have seen some shadow figures walking by in the hallways and corridors, which is almost the same meaning with different words. People were witnessing some paranormal activities too, like objects moving and such. They were terrified to the bones. But then some noticed the pictures on the walls of the hotel and said that the scary apparitions were of those ladies in the pictures, the ladies who built the place. There were also some incidents of people seeing the appearance of a male shadow figure. I could understand the ladies' part, but what is he doing there? Who invited him to join the horror party? That sounds like a cringe-worthy event. Nonetheless, the horrifying events didn't stop there, as later on, some guy lost his life inside one of these rooms. That was the cherry on top, which will send our fella in the next video to investigate the truth behind these claims. And he wasn't disappointed, as these ghosts delivered as promised. Was the food well served? Are you trying to be funny in a scary situation? The bathroom door didn't hold still, as it kept shutting. The fan went crazy. The chair moved. Even the bed was shaking for a moment.
So I'm staying in this super haunted room. And I wasn't even getting ready to film or anything yet. I was going to throw all my stuff in my charger, and I was going to go outside, I was going to have a cigar for the night, and then come back in and then try to set up some cameras and film, okay? I've been in this room for like 10 minutes. My fan has shut off and turned back on. See that? Now the fan and the light are both plugged in behind the bed, and they're connected. So that shuts them both off. You hear the fan shut off? That's the AC in the background, but so that one switch turns them both on and off. And the fan by itself is turned off, I want to say, maybe 2 or 3 times. The bathroom door over there, it's closed. Now I don't mean a little bit, I mean I'm gonna come back, set some cameras up, and do whatever battery's about to go low. And then do whatever I can to get it. Closing right now, guys. It just moved a little bit. I'm telling you, it just... See that? There's no one in here with me. Completely alone. There is no one here, guys. I'm using the front face on the camera, so it's kind of hard to see. But you can see. Watch. Watch. See, it's a watch. It doesn't close by itself. The second or third. I can't remember if it did it once or twice before I started on or what, but it's been doing it a lot, and I don't get it. Because I tried doing it by hand. I got goosebumps. It closed all the way. It closed and latched. Guys, it closed and latched. It did it once or twice. Twice. Did it 2 times. So I'm going to put my stuff on the charger, and then I'm going to go. I should leave something rolling while I'm in here, but everything's got to charge. You think you can close that one more time for me? You think one more time you could close the door? And then I'll leave you alone. Then I'll leave, and I'll leave this room for a little while. I won't come back if you close that door one more time. Go. What the hell? Oh, it didn't close all the way this time. I'm back in my room. It's pretty late. When I left, the bathroom door was open. It's closed. I already went in there and checked everything. I actually went to the restroom. I'm leaving it closed. I've had enough of that thing closing on me. So I'm gonna leave it closed. It's latched, so it does not push open. So we're gonna see if that opens. I don't think it could. That'd be a heck of a lot. I don't know if anything's gonna happen, so if you're watching this, that means something might have happened. I don't see myself doing a whole video of me sleeping. That'd be a little boring. Turn the fan on high.
I'm not sure if this video was shared on my channel before or not, because I remember having it inside the editing software, but back then it was just one part of it inside a compilation with other creepy videos, so maybe I took it off my list and maybe I have shared it. I'm not so sure. I don't know how to explain it, but the guy in the next video is something else. I have featured him before. It was in the last 4 weeks, but the video I took from him was acceptable. It was enough to be considered in a list of scary clips, but the next ones are something else, some videos that deserve to be on a list of their own. How creepy. Are they really that filled with horror and despair, to the point where you can't even put them on a list? Actually, it's completely the opposite here. You see, I'm not being unreasonable. He, with his poor production execution in some parts, is behind my rough opinions. Now let's get to it. Why did he disappoint me this time around? Why do I seem more like a skeptic towards him? Why am I treating him so harshly? Where's the big heart? Well, son, sometimes you have to be serious enough so the other can feel your care towards him, so he can feel how much you care about him and his future. That's why I went out looking for the best milk I could find. And to this day, I'm still searching for it, but I couldn't find the right type. But regarding Rick, our guy in the next video, he is dealing with what he calls paranormal hauntings, such as his favorite portrait falling on its own or his leather chair swinging back and forth, and so does the lamp. But obviously, we can't forget about the thumping sounds and footsteps. It all sounds like great poltergeist activities on paper, so what's the problem? You said it, it sounds great on paper, and that's as far as it should have gone.
Hey guys, it's been a long time. What's up? I don't know, I feel really weird. I'm home alone, of course, me and my cat, Siberia, and I'm hearing things. And I'm just rolling this. I don't know if I'm ever gonna put this out because I'm sure things are fine, because it's been a long time, right? So I'm back home in New York, in Amityville. I just really hope that nothing happens, because if something happens, I mean, it's kind of good because then I'll probably upload it and you'll see it. But I shot a couple things. I thought I heard sounds or weird things went on, and they were just false alarms. I never put anything up, but you'll probably never see this video. But I'm gonna take a little look around. I really heard some weird sounds. It's like a scream and a bang. Guys, I'm walking around the house here, and that's what I'm talking about. That light is moving on its own. Look at that. Look at this. There's no strings or nothing. This is serious business. Man. What the heck? That is crazy. Guys, the painting from my office is now here. This is crazy. This was not there. So things are moving around again. Things are moving around again. Okay. Things are moving around again. That wasn't there. I'm going right back to where I started this. I walked out. Oh my goodness. Okay. What's going on? Okay, guys. Apparently a poltergeist is back. Do it again. I don't know if I caught that on camera. Do it again. I'll back up. Do it again. That's my painting, picture, portrait, whatever. Siberia. This is my cat. He's spooked out too. You alright, buddy? Things are moving around again. You see something? Siberia, you see something? Guys, this is unexpected. It's dark in here. I'm sorry. I gotta get a flashlight. He's checking it out. Look. Saib's checking it out. Saib, what's up with that? What's up with that? What is up with that? A light, I mean, things are moving around. Alright, here we go again. I don't know if I should be... Anything else? Okay, it moved here. This is crazy. Alright, Siberia, you okay? What's going on, buddy? What's going on? I hope the camera's picking this stuff up, because I know It just stopped recording a few times when this used to happen. And I would, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna step out. I'm gonna just go outside. Hey, whatever you want from me, just leave me the hell alone. I thought we discussed this already. I thought this was taken care of. Where's my car keys? Where's my car keys? Where's my car keys? Where's my car keys? I'm getting out of here. They were on my desk. That mic wasn't on. The mic is blinking. What's going on? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So whatever it is, it wants me in it. It doesn't want me going anywhere. My car keys are gone. They're not my. See, this is how I go crazy. This is how. Maybe I should just turn off the camera. I might be pissing this poltergeist off. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna step out. I'm out of here. I'll keep you guys posted. I hear like things running on a roof. A lot of paranormal activity tonight. I feel really uncomfortable. The door's making noises. Someone's knocking. Hey! Go away! Nothing here. Oh my goodness, this is crazy. It was moving, something was knocking. Crazy. Hey, who's here? Really, really, really strange. You hear that on the roof? I don't know if the camera's picking up. Sounds like something's running on the roof of my house. Whoa. All right. I got chills. I got chills. I got chills. Crazy. Wow. You know what? I'll close the door and chill.
The way he was trying to make us believe his cat was behaving differently, as if she were sensing the presence of some ghost or a djinn, was ridiculous to me. I personally had a cat for 7 years and lived in 2 different haunted apartments during this time period. I know exactly how they would behave in such situations. This is nothing to be considered. The next clip takes us to such an anonymous abandoned place, which looks like a hotel. In the title, I wrote the white scary phantom. And based on that, you might think that there is some white lady who was once on the verge of ending it all and taking her own life, so she decided to go to some hotel and spend 3 nights there before taking her own life on the 3rd day. After the owner found out about the incident, he decided to close the hotel and move on from the industry, as it received so much bad backlash and a ton of bad reviews dropped on his head, leading him to lose his mind, break down, and burn the whole place to ashes. So why did that lady walk the dark path? Also, you believed these made-up shenanigans. I told you, you might think of some story like that based on the title on screen. But in reality, I couldn't find any other title more accurate to describe what's taking place next. We have our dude, Jiro, who was doing a random live stream investigating the place. In doing so, he encountered what looked like a terrifying figure dressed in white with long hair, and a demonic face who appeared behind glass and in reflection sometimes. It's not like she's inside the mirror, but more like in the room where the mirror is, before disappearing into thin air. Other than these freaky apparitions, there were some banging sounds and cabinets closing on their own. But if you thought this was scary in nature, then I don't blame you. You might look old, but inside your head, that brain is still 9 years old. I'm not insulting, but if you think such a description is worth breaking a nerve for, then that's your reality. And all these events look great on paper, but when you watch the video, it's like so many scribbles.
Digunakan sebagai kantor juga sekaligus kantor panti jompo. Apa itu, Cok? Bentar ya.
Astagfirullah. Ini apa sih, Cok? Monyong emang ya. Cing. Allahu Akbar, monyong. Anjing ya. Assalamualaikum. Siapa? Apapun wujud kalian, nampak senampak-nampaknya. Jadi saya akan bereksperimen untuk Wait. Siapa? Ada suara di bawah, guys. Bangsat, apa ini, Cok? Bloody Mary! Nek! Loh, gak sopan kamu, Nek. Nek! Kemana, Nek? Hah? Hai? Ada suara hai? Ada suara hai? Hah? Apa, Nek? Apa? Thank you, Bang. Astagfirullah. Udahan, guys, aku nggak kuat lama-lama sama itu nenek itu. Aduh, energinya kuat banget, sumpah, Cok.
I told you so. The video was not as cool as it was described. I'm not pretending like it's described in a cool way or as if I'm some cool guy who can make anything sound more interesting, because these are just facts, but the execution of these events, or the demonic figure itself, looks like a budget horror movie monster. Imagine sitting behind your desk, working on your own stuff, before you hear the door right beside you scratching. You might be wondering, how is this door scratching? Like, is it scratching my back? No, that would be clumsy to imagine. I mean, like something scratching on that door. And don't say you have kids. We are in a scenario where you live alone in a house as a virgin. So, that's what we have next. Claymore, a man whom I had to search on 3 different platforms in order to gather the videos presented next. He is a dude who usually talks about horror stories on his social media account, so he is familiar with scary stuff, but never in his life has he imagined that one day he will be a living horror story that others will be talking about. As of one night, at 4-something a.m., he heard sounds on the door leading to the basement, and since he lives alone, at least that's what I know, and even if he does have family, why would they be in the basement at the time of the day and scratching the door? So, when he listened more carefully, he realized his ears weren't playing tricks on him. There was something happening in that basement. The door wasn't just being scratched on, but also knocked on. As we will see in his videos, these events were as clear as day, but Claymore was very chill about it. He was so nice to his audience that he even went down there while the sounds were still active and showed us the basement. After digging into the house's history, he realized that his venue has a dark history. Claymore discovers it was originally a bar in the 1920s, later turned into a restaurant before becoming a residence. While he couldn't identify any specific incidents that might explain the haunting, the mysterious sounds remain unexplained, and even in his bathroom, you will see the light turning on and off on its own.
Alright, you guys are in luck. You wanted it, right? There it is. Ain't me knocking on shit. Ain't nobody down here, right? You hear it? Now, you guys are gonna say, oh, it's somebody in there, it's an animal. Nope. Let's go. So who's down here? Nobody. What the f? Nobody down here? Nobody downstairs? Alright, so I was hearing that knocking again, right? Except this time it's coming from that wall right there, which is my downstairs bathroom. And after a while I started hearing tapping on the bathroom door as well. So, what else? Record. See if anything else happens. I mean, I hear the shit every night. Okay, that's never happened before. Now I have to go check it out, otherwise you guys are going to be like, oh, it's probably somebody in there. Let's go see. I'll show you guys right now. Ain't nobody in this motherfucker right here. And it is empty. Yeah, no, that one was weird. That's never actually happened before. That's new, at least. Alright, so that right there is my basement door, right? I'm downstairs by myself. It's like 4:53 in the morning, and I just started hearing that. I have no idea what it is, but I'm down here by myself. Everybody's sleeping, just me. Ain't the first time I heard this shit either.
He also mentioned the curtain moving as he heard it, but we didn't see it, and I wouldn't doubt it happening. But man, this house changed character more than I did in my lifetime. Or maybe I'm over-exaggerating there. When you're in a scary situation, stuck between these walls of a house, you only wish it to be solved in any possible way, or at least shrink until there is barely anything left of it. The last thing you want is to ignite the fire with more fire. But what if this ghost we are talking about is malevolent? What if this ghost not only occupies the place but also wants to piss you off? So not only will you be already scared, but you also might get pissed off in the future. Here is Denny's, an investigator who was called by a mother and her child who just recently moved into the new house and just happened to be haunted. The problem is that the paranormal activity escalated ever since they stepped a foot into the place. Denny's was baffled by the intensity of the activity, and so was I. There was paranormal activity nonstop throughout the investigation. The moment he began his communication session, and here comes the rolling chair rolling behind him, then it began moving in all sorts of directions. But it wasn't the only chair that was moved during that day, as a normal kitchen chair was also somehow dragged so smoothly. The kitchen itself is a completely different story. It was turned into a mess in a matter of seconds, not necessarily by objects such as plates that were around, but rather by moving everything that has a hinge of some sort. The cabinets were aggressively opening back and forth. I almost had a heart attack at one point. I was scared. I was scared that these cabinets could have broken and dismantled at any point. It's such a clean kitchen. The refrigerator was no different. Its door had also been put to the test. Did I mention how the lantern was swinging? The ghost also messed with the trash can right in front of Denny's as a way of disrespecting him. Remember when I said this ghost was malevolent? Yeah, it threatened that it would cause more poltergeist activity around.
Ну, с дороги приехал, ничего не кушал, поэтому достаточно голодный. Я думаю, что он не будет против. Твою мать. Что было сейчас? Просто здесь не может быть такого сквозняка, чтобы дверь вот так хлопнула. Я уже покушал за кадром. И сейчас возьму свой прибор, пройдусь с ним по квартире и посмотрю, какие будут значения. Охренеть. Кто здесь? Что сейчас было? Вы посмотрите, посреди дня вот просто кресло взяло, вот оно здесь стояло за мной и приехало сюда. Здесь кто-нибудь есть? Твою мать, что за херня происходит, а? Что за говно? Кто здесь, твою мать? Сейчас вот сижу. Прислушиваюсь. Постоянно какие-то звуки происходят. Какие-то хождения. Хотя в квартире вообще. Вот слышно? Сейчас как будто стулом кто-то двигал. В квартире никого нет, кроме меня. полезла. Шарится, что-то ищет. Холодильник лезет. Что ты там ищешь? Ты туда что-то положил? Мусорка приехала. В общем, все ходуном ходит буквально. Все двигается. Очень сильная активность. Думаю, сейчас я достану свой ГЭФ, попробуем провести сеанс ГЭФ.
Смотри, как я могу, приколись. От этой дури у меня мозги спеклись.
Твою мать. Ты зачем сейчас поехала на стуле? Что тут, блядь, происходит опять? Кто там? Хуй стучишься, открывай. Блядь. Сука, держит. Открывай дверь. Жаба. Именем Господа, открой дверь! Твою мать. Черт возьми. Не знаю, что из этого получится. Начинается. Началось. Да что ты делаешь, а? Хватит это делать. Блять, еще и в окно стучится. Я вообще не понимаю. Квартира находится на 2-м этаже. Здесь физически просто невозможно стучать в окно. Кто там? Сейчас посмотрим. Ну ты издеваешься, что ли, надо мной, а? Козел вонючий. Прекращай это делать. Кто здесь? Кто здесь? Твою же мать. Я вспомнил про эту картошку. В общем, сука, куда стул-то поехал? Твою мать. Шаба. Да хуй стучишься, ты и стучишься-то. Черт возьми. Что за фигня там опять шумит, сука? Мусорка поехала. Что за хрень? Куда ты тащишь мусор? Да что за херня, а? Что ты там шумишься, а? Подушка поехала. Ты куда подушку-то мою повез? Демоническое отродье из этой квартиры. Изыди, Господь, помоги мне изгнать его. Дистантье? Твою мать.
Like, I have tried to cut as much as possible of the original video, but there were way too many moments where he had something to discover, and what kind of ghost would threaten to cause more activity. I thought they were more polite. The next video had me hyped up before I took it. The video has a decent amount of views, and throughout the investigation, there were peak moments according to the YouTube timeline graph. So I said to myself, if the people were excited during many moments in the video, and it has a decent amount of views, it must have been pretty interesting and filled with terrifying activities. But I was wrong. The video takes us to a house with a really bad reputation due to somewhat of an unpleasant past. A decades-old communal apartment known for unexplained phenomena. The property is partially abandoned, with 2 sealed rooms untouched for 17 years, following the mysterious disappearance of a woman known only as Nina's grandmother. Rumors in the neighborhood range from psychiatric hospitalization to a passing in a nursing home, but nothing was ever confirmed. Despite being sealed and legally inaccessible, a chilling incident occurred. A witness claims to have seen a little girl drawing and closing the curtains inside one of the locked rooms. No one could have entered these rooms as they were nailed shut and under legal restriction during inheritance disputes. It seems like it's one of these stories that tells anyone who hears it to never step a foot close to the apartment. But despite all of this information, our investigator decided not only to investigate but also to sleep the night in there, in which he received some pretty strong signals on his EMF detector at specific areas inside the house, and he had bad nightmares he could barely sleep. But there were faint sounds that echoed through the place that were somewhat spooky and unexplained.
Короче, это 20 лет назад.
Я понял, хорошо, ладно. Спаси, Господи, люди Твоя и благослови. Ну это да, это защитные. Причем на выход из комнаты. Но еще один момент. Очень интересный момент. Как же мне не по себе. Я уже, чтобы вы понимали, подготовил камеры ночного видения. Здесь кто-нибудь обитает? Чтобы вы понимали, ребята, с окон
This specific video was the definition of a filler, where you have an empty spot on a long list of good quality creepy clips, and you just want one more video, but you can't find something on that level of horror at the time, so you decide to pick a lighter one and shove it in there. Just like how I want you to shove that button until you subscribe and watch the next video on screen.